take a plane to another plane, to another plane, to another plane, bumping Baka not nice while I'm trapping in the rain.
We're recording. Yeah, this is episode number 42 of Ezza Trips Balls. I got my man, this is history right here. This is the first relative I've had on the show.
History.
Yeah,
history,
this is history. This is the first minor I've had on the show. You know what I'm saying? We just keep it all the way real. It's special, man. This is my little cousin right here. This is 9-0 Beats. His introduction to the world. How you doing,
Back in the day, I'm good, man. I'm bro. I remember you so well, man.
I remember. Oh, of course, I remember you too. I'm glad you do, man. Because last time we chopped it up in reality, I think we were playing cops and robbers. You know what I mean?
Exactly, yeah.
So you were running around the house. You know, high energy child you were. You know what I'm saying? Very high energy.
Of course.
And now I have like a stepson who's really high energy, and he kind of reminds me. Yeah. So no, it's crazy that the day that you hollered at me like, hey, I don't know if you remember me, like I'm your little cousin. I'm making beats now. It's like, okay, here we go. What goes around comes around, man. Full circle, right?
Exactly, yeah. We'll link up again. You know, cook something up.
Yeah, exactly. I used to have to play the stuff that you wanted to play. Now you're playing what I want to play. You know what I mean? You're playing the music game. So here we are, man. Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about. I have honest questions for you. You know what I mean? Like for those who don't know, like, I actually don't know the answers to these questions. I'm actually curious, you know, because we just recently reconnected as a result of you getting into music and all this stuff. And we've worked together now, you know, but I haven't really got a chance to like talk to you. Like, what the fuck? This is crazy, you know? So yeah, when did you start? How did you get into it? Like, I remember from young, like you were doing music related stuff.
Yeah. I still play piano.
Yeah, see, there you go. So you have that natural. You have
that.
Talent.
I've been playing piano since I was like 4.
Yeah, so that'll do
natural talent, you know. And then I started making beats in grade 6.
Okay.
That young. So, but yeah, they were kind of bad, you know. Back then, I didn't have the proper software, nothing like that. So I was just cooking up on the free online stuff. And I just really wanted to do it. You know, I gave up for a while, but I think around grade 8, I came back, and then just the spring of last year, I got free loops on my laptop, and then from there, it just took off, right?
Well, that's pretty recent still of you just only within a year having free loops on your computer to make a that you make, right? So it's very impressive, bro. And you know, that was around the age that I started getting into writing lyrics and shit too, you know, like grade 6 to grade 8, like nothing was really good, but that's really when I started. And then, you know, getting into high school and stuff, that I found the software that helped me be able to take it more seriously. Right. And then, you know, as you get into that bigger pool of people, you realize there's other people that do it too. Right.
Yeah. I've linked up with people. My one friend, he's signed to a record label now in Toronto. We went to school together, and we linked up. We have an album dropping.
Shit, that's what's up, man. See, I imagine with this younger generation now, it's like even more common. You know, like when I was coming up, it was super special to like meet somebody else that did music, because not that many people did, and a lot of people were still in the mindset of you have to like link up with some guy that gets you into a studio and this, that, or the other.
I can do all over a computer. We've never been in the studio together once.
Exactly, right?
The tracks,
it's all do it yourself, right? So like I imagine with you guys now coming up, like everybody just knows that already. Like you can just do it yourself. You don't need to link up with, you don't need to know handouts or anybody to put you in the right building or anything like that. You could do it, you know, from your parents' house, you know, as we all did. So yeah, right, exactly. So it's just like there must be so many people coming up, and with that, you know, you get that the cream rises to the top, right? Like somebody like yourself who's like clearly really good at making beats. Like I said, I've been
come on,
grabbing
you're
shit.
making them blush. Come on.
No, I'm like real talk though. Like as far as like, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and make you blush all day, but very impressive, bro. Like, and I cop beats from producers all the time, and like even the producers that kind of have like a hot sound or whatever, and they got it good. They don't have like the I don't know what it is, that bigness, you know what I mean? That just sounds so full and so clear. Like your shit,
that's the musical background. Like that's totally like from hearing playing music. I know how to make a song like that. It's catchy and will stick with you. Like look at Move, the violin loop from there.
Yeah.
That's been in my head for 3 months now.
See, that's crazy. It's so catchy, and it just goes. And you can tell that with the music background, it helps you with layering the beats and shit. Like, like I know that I have a good ear for that shit, but my issue with making beats was always like, I can make something that sounds pretty dope, but is it going to be like properly like the right notes clashing with the right notes and like
that's on like free loops. There's not a lot of helpers for like, because you gotta make your 808s and your melodies all in key, and for someone without a musical background, like that'd be hard, man. I don't know how
that was always my issue, right? Like always just trying to do it by ear, but not even I don't even know what on key really means. Like I have an idea, but as far as like how to make that happen on the computer, like it's beyond me. So like I've always been so much more. That's why I don't even like fucking with auto-tune very much, even though it's auto-tune. You still have to have it in the right key and shit. Like if you're if you're auto-tuning to the wrong tune, then it's not gonna sound dope.
It won't sound good, of course.
Yeah, so it's like, even though it's just a click of a button and everyone's like, oh, like electronic music production is not real musicians, like they're just pushing buttons. It's like, you don't realize how much goes into that, man.
Right.
And being a real musician like yourself, I think it's fair to say you're a real musician. You've been playing piano for over a decade. You know, being a real musician like yourself, that's that difference. You know, that's why you can be your age and start making beats, and within a year you're making shit that you can easily sell, that could easily be heard. Like, you know,
that's 2021. That's how we're coming. So we're
gonna bro, that's what I'm saying. As soon as I started, like I didn't know what to expect, bro. Honestly, like I always knew you were like a smart kid, and like I knew that you did a little bit of instruments and stuff, but I didn't know to what extent, right? So I'm like, I didn't know what to expect. And then I heard your beats, and I was like, my thought was like, I don't even need to make music anymore. Like, this guy's got it, man. This guy's gonna take off. Like, there's no question in my mind that if you're at the level you're at now, as long as you play your cards right, like you're gonna be doing this for a living. I have no question.
Yeah, you know that means a lot, man.
Yeah, so definitely keep at it. So like, what, you know, what's funny is like the other part of the story that I don't know if you know, you probably know, but your dad messaged me like,
I was gonna mention that.
Maybe a year ago, or like,
not my idea. Not mine at all.
I wouldn't think it was. But, you know, maybe a year ago, maybe a little bit more than a year ago, just being like, you know, he's super into this stuff. Like, who are some of the artists you listen to? And I'm like, well, I'm thinking like of the newer, more popular artists. I start listing off all the dudes I fuck with.
Kid Cudi, Kanye, of course.
Yeah, Travis Scott, you know, Young Thug and people like that. And fucking... yeah, so he's like, oh, yeah, Jack's really into this. He loves some of those guys, too. Like, I'm like, oh, sick. Like, you know, he's connected to the culture and shit. What was it that made you, like, who were the artists that really made you be like, I can do this, too?
It's a beautiful story. I'll tell you that right now. So it's like I don't know, maybe September 2015, something like that. And me and my parents were watching TV. I was really young, right?
Yeah, that's a while ago.
At the end of the show, my dad flipped to a random channel, and it was playing Travis Scott. It was like a Much music video.
Nice.
I remember I was like, I like this. I was like, I really like this. Who is this guy? I want to look him up. And then from there, you know, 2016 was such a good year for rap music. So me and my friends,
God, yeah.
Yachty, it all just spirals from there, totally.
Oh yeah, that's really when shit start. That's when they really started to find their own, as far as like the all the shit that the old heads criticized, the mumble rap swag. Like
Yeah, exactly. That's
I
we
fuck
love
with
that.
all of it, right? I fuck with
Yeah,
all of it.
totally.
And around that time is when it really started to like become musical and become really dope.
Yeah,
Like it wasn't at first, like it was just sort of this avant-garde, like experimental kind of just like, but then the producers, and it's really the
yeah.
producers
This is
who took it
like
up to the next level. Like the
'cause
producers.
I totally started like liking rap and stuff and all that, but then like it was just liking it wasn't enough for me. So I really wanted to like I specifically I remember the Broccoli Lil Yachty, the instrumental of that. You know, me and my teacher
You
had a
could play
keyboard in
that
his
for
room.
sure. Yeah.
We played all day. I'm like, I just want to add drums to this. How can I do that? And from there, you know, it just kind of took off. You know.
Yeah, it's really remarkable how like hip hop for some people, like once it hits you, it's like it's just over. You know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah,
just
it,
nothing
it
else.
really is. All my friends, it's special. It's the only genre like that, man. It's special.
I don't know what it just envelops everything, and it doesn't matter who you are. Like you want to do it. Like regardless what your background is, if you like it, you want to do it yourself. And some people can, and some people can't. But it's like almost everybody I know who like really loves rap can at least like kick a freestyle or like something. You know, like
Of course, yeah.
um,
In music class, you came in last year. Oh
you
boy,
know. So
it's
it's
all
like
day.
and now even more I could imagine with the type of like more like loosey goosey kind of shit, it's so easy to freestyle and like you don't have people
Yeah,
judge. Like when I was coming up, like if your freestyle wasn't hot, like if you weren't dropping metaphors and like lyrics, you got clowned. You know what I mean? Now like you guys understand that it's more about the energy, it's more about the vibe, it's more about
yeah,
the
totally.
confidence and like the
Yeah,
being funny and like you know what I mean, like
yeah. The
it's
funny
more
bars,
chill.
like I keep the one bar on what y'all thought.
Yeah.
You say I feel like a canine pissing because I got the leg up on my set. I laughed when I heard the I. It's those
Thank you.
bars. They're special. Like, you got to incorporate those.
Yeah, and
Totally.
that's what I love about the newer generation of rappers is that the big difference for me is like the older generation, like the punchlines and shit were very obvious. Like they worked their way up to them and then
Oh
it
yeah.
hits and like now you go back and listen to some of that shit and some of them sound so corny because like you see it coming and like it's just not,
Yeah.
it doesn't seem subtle or clever. But back then it did because it was like, oh shit, like this guy just came with a hot metaphor. Now like they sneak them in, you
They
know?
sneak them in
And that's
and
why
add that. Yeah.
it pisses me off when people around my age and older are like, oh, those guys got no lyrics and shit. They got, it's like, dude, listen, man. Like they are constantly saying clever shit. Like even if it's just
Cartoons, movies,
yeah,
other songs. Yeah.
just the words they choose to use
References.
together
Yeah.
that
Totally. Yeah.
create associations in your brain and stuff, you know, like you know they'll talk about like dripping and then mention like three or four other things that are water themed and you don't even really
Yeah.
realize that they've done, you know, shit like that, right? Or like slime and then they're mentioning snakes and other slimy it's just
Nickelodeon. There's so many bars about Nickelodeon because you know they got the slime stuff.
yeah. You know, so it, you know, you got to really like be open-minded and there's a few people that are from my age group who I've like I work them, you know what I mean? I start sending them little things, like send them this guy, send them some Young Thug, send them like, and there's
Of
been a
course.
few who I've really cracked through to like now they fully get it, you know? It's like
Yeah.
it helped me make music so much more when I got it, you know what I mean?
Because
Because
it's not like the older like 90s rap stuff. It's more focused on being serious. This is
mhm,
about having fun and
yeah, man, and it's
and
like
just joking, having a good time. You know, the bars it reflects on all that completely.
yeah, even the hard shit, even the gangster shit is like fun in a way, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
Pop Smoke's like dancing and shit, you know?
I'm big into drill. Like I'm mainly a drill producer. I listen to drill all the time, and even despite they talk about some heavy topics,
Yeah.
there's still those funny bars,
They're very
those
clever, right?
cartoons again, stuff like that. You just bring this cleverly put it in, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And you know, drill's crazy. Like I remember now it's fucking massive, right? But I remember a few
Yeah.
years ago, probably about 2015, 2016, when I first heard like a hard ass drill song from across the pond, you know, and I was like,
Who? You know who?
Fuck, man, that's a great question.
Harlem Spartans.
If I asked my one buddy, he probably still would be able to tell me because he still fucks with them. They look like you. They're all wearing masks and shit.
Yeah, no,
yeah, exactly. And I was like, this is gonna be fucking big. Like, this is like a sound, because you know, UK rappers always got the respect from like the lyrical heads, the hip hop heads, because they're really good lyrically, a lot of them.
Yeah, like Stormzy.
Yeah, exactly. Dizzy.
More than the old American rappers,
We used to fuck with Piff Gang. I don't know if you know Piff Gang at all, but they've gone by a bunch of different names. They're not drill at all. They're more like weed rappers and shit, but like super lyrical, and the shit they can do with their accents. Like, they can rhyme stuff that we can't really rhyme because they have, you know what I mean? So it's like you witness a more clever use of the language based on a totally different accent, right? So we always thought they were really dope lyrically, and then when they like found those beats, man, and the right rappers started getting on those beats, and they could really like hit those speedy flows, but still be really clear.
It's more like 145 BPM, 140 compared to normal 130. So it's faster.
So super high energy, right? And like for me,
that's why I respect you guys rapping on those drill beats, because they're hard. The ones I sent you, they're hard.
You know, that's why the super hard, and that's why the whole Just After Dusk situation was such a blessing, because like I would not have been able to tackle those if it weren't for Jo-Rel. You know what I mean? Like, Jo-Rel being there, like they're too hard for me. You know what I mean? And too fast for me. Like my
you got the 808 slides going. You got the crazy hi hats. It's hard. It's really hard.
You know, and like I love them, but for me, my pocket is like, I like slow. I usually sit on slower beats, like
it's like
90 to 120. You know what I mean? 90 to 130. So even though I fucking love drill beats and they're hard, they're not quite my element, right? So I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna write about, like. And then when me and Joe got together and started listening to those beats, like it was just boom, idea, boom, idea, boom, idea.
Yeah, probably telling me,
the energy that he brought made me think of like what shit I could rap about on these beats, you know? Whereas if it was just my solo song, like, it's what business do I have making a whole song about this? You know what I mean? But with him, he could sort of set the tone, and then I was easily able to write bars to those beats at that point. But if it was just me sitting there with those beats, like as dope as they are, I don't know what I would have done with them.
Yeah, no, totally,
He just happened to be coming down that weekend that you sent me like a pack of fire. And I was just like, check out these beats.
I was talking to Jo when it happened, and like, just complete this chance. It's just like, it's fate. It's fate, not even chance. It's fate.
Totally. Absolutely, man. And my whole, you know, despite the fact that I've never made it or whatever, so much in the time that I've done music, so many little things like this have happened where it's just like, I know it's leading to something. And it's taken longer, hopefully, because at the end it's going to last longer, you know? But like, there's been so many like chance and fate things where like every time I've been thinking like, all right, I've done everything I can do, and like people aren't catching on to this yet. So like, I don't know what else I'm going to do. Like I think and then something like this happens, you know what I mean? Where it's just like totally, and then I'm re-energized as if it's the first time I've ever done it again, you know? So it's like, there's a reason for that. There's a greater force that wants us to keep doing this. And now, like, you know, you and I, if it weren't for the whole, our dads doing like a band jam session thing together, which only lasted like a year, like we probably never would have interacted on the level we did, right? Because it's not like our families, like we're cousins and shit, but it's not like we're super close cousins.
There's so many
families are. There's so many, right? So it's like, if it weren't for even that happening, and even that was a short-lived thing, but because that happened, we were together at that Christmas, and then I played with you. You were a little kid. Next thing you know, it's like years later, here we are.
You rocking a ponytail for a while?
Yeah, I had long ass hair. Yeah. So man, like it's unbelievable the way it all comes together. And now here we
Totally.
are, with a project together, and now you're already got more placements and shit. So it's
Yeah, this
fantastic.
is such, it's people reaching out to me now. I can't believe it, really. Like
No,
I got a couple of placements from this. I hit up one friend, I don't know, in Vancouver, something like that. I don't remember
okay.
his name. I hit him up, sent him a pack. He liked it, yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, that's what's up. Yeah, man. So fuck, bro. I don't even know. It's just I only see good things to come for sure.
Fuck, man. Okay, you help me, man. I want to do more too. We gotta do more. We're gonna do more.
Yeah, we definitely
Okay?
have to. So what made you gravitate toward drill so heavily?
Well, like, okay, so my parents, they lived in London for a
Right.
large chunk of time. I was supposed to be born there. Like I was
Okay.
supposed to be born there and everything. And I've been back there tons of times. And then just in the last year, I'm like, yeah, it's just I like this music. I got a little bit of a background with it, sort of too, with the whole parents thing. So I'm like, yeah, I just kind of gravitated towards it. And I was kind of by the time I started getting the drill, like last year, the trap sound was starting to get a little bit play for me. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, a little bit like it's still good, but I'm kind of getting a bit bored of it. Then
Yeah,
heard about
yeah.
drill. I pretty much heard about drill through Pop Smoke though.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Pop Smoke popping off was really the big
I day
thing.
one Pop Smoke fan. I can claim that top 0.1% on Spotify, like
Yeah.
absolute heights.
Good for
And
you,
then
bro. I'll be 1,000% honest. I did not hear about Pop Smoke even until the Jack Boys project.
yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah,
who the fuck is this? And what is this? And why is this drill beat on this Travis Scott album? What
yeah,
is
I know. It was
going
nice. I remember hearing that because I'm like, man, Pop Smoke got Travis Scott features, two of my favorite artists on the same track. And then
crazy?
and then I'm like, who made this beat? Turns out 808 Mellow guy. You heard of him?
Yeah, yeah.
808 Mellow. And I listened to some of his beats on YouTube, and I'm like, this is the hardest shit I've ever heard in my life. I need to make this.
Yeah.
And boom, 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 one to one thing, and just heard all these other drill artists, and yeah,
It is.
yeah,
It is the hardest thing ever. Like you couldn't have imagined there being a harder style of gangster rap than trap, but
yeah.
drill really
It's
takes it to the next level.
completely rude, so rude.
Yeah, drill is like is nasty, is ignorant. I can't imagine being out at a public event with hundreds of people with drill music playing and there not being some violent.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I've been in many, many trap crowds and haven't really felt scared for my life. I think at a drill event, I'd be scared. You know what I mean? Like this is just too much energy happening.
yeah, and violent energy.
Yeah, but
Totally.
it's amazing music. It really is. And as you said, like it's difficult to rap over, so that's a skill in itself. That's why Pop Smoke like broke so many barriers because I really
It's
think
such
like,
a refreshing sound in the scene because
oh,
it was getting a bit stagnant, like
oh, for
people
sure.
coming through with the same juice roll type flows, all the same auto tune trap, Playboy
Yep.
Cardis, all that kind of stuff. They're a dime a dozen, but then Pop Smoke came through,
Something new,
and
right?
everyone's like, yeah, this is what we need. We need to change up, and yeah, just rest in peace.
Yeah, I mean it's really really unfortunate because he was just getting started. Um, and yeah, and he's from New York, which was really cool. He was kind of bringing back the New York scene a little bit.
Yeah, that was
He
definitely stagnant for years at that point. There was nothing going on there.
as far
ASAP
as big
Rocky,
other than fucking yeah, ASAP and six
yeah, he
nine.
hasn't dropped in like 2 years. Yeah, 6ix9ine. Well,
Yeah,
he's spoken for.
and Rocky lives in London too. I'm pretty sure he's like a
Yeah, yeah,
he's like a London guy
yeah.
now. Anyway,
Toronto, London, and New York are all just the same cities, just slightly different.
yeah, it's kind of wild. Eh? Like I've been to London once, and I really loved it. And yeah,
Yeah, it's great.
while I was not living there, while I was staying there, I found out that ASAP Rocky lived there, and I didn't even know at that point that he did. I was like, "What the fuck?" I don't know if he still does, but he did when I was there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he spent time there. Yeah, I don't think it's anymore though.
yeah, And Pop Smoke was also like the first rapper I really heard sound great that didn't have a British accent on the drill beats. You know what I mean? Like you hear with no accent, it killed it.
It does not work. No one can do it American wise. It's just Pop Smoke.
Yeah,
no one can. He's got loads of friend rappers and stuff. Like he's got his mates and stuff who, like Dusty Locane, guys like those. You heard of them? 5 Foreign.
No. Oh, I know 5 Yeah.
Yeah, like even that is kind of they're kind of dead. Like it's not. They don't suit the style.
Yeah, Pop Smoke was one of a kind, man.
Yeah.
I mean, people will come up that will be similar, like that follow that sort of path that he started. But no, you hear the one with him and Kid Cudi is fucking wild. Like, who else is on that? Skepta, yeah, ridiculous. What a combination!
I know, it's Kid Cudi on a drill beat, like it's ridiculous. I never thought.
I know, and at first I'm a Kid Cudi traditionalist, you know what I mean? Like I love still his first couple projects are like my favorite, some of my favorite music that's ever been made. And I was like, oh, like I don't know how I feel about him on this fucking drill beat. And then like by the second or third time I listened to it, I was just like fully on board. I'm like, this is just epic as fuck. Like I don't know how this happened, but
yeah, totally.
Yeah, or how Cudi became the one that got that song. Like I don't fucking know, but big ups to Travis Scott for seeing the potential of Pop Smoke and putting him on the way he did. You know,
they were tight. I think they have a couple more tunes together. I don't know how many though. There's a couple though.
Yeah, Travis needs to drop soon, man. Did you fuck with Franchise? Because his franchise got a lot of hate, man.
No, I when it came out, I'm like, this MIA, she's fine. I
killed it, right? I fucking love it.
I know, yeah.
I loved MIA's part. Like still I see on Twitter people like, oh, the remix is better because there's less MIA. I'm like, no. The original is fire. To me, that was like the freshest, like first single that anyone's put out in a while, let alone Travis Scott. Like as far as
I first heard it on Travis Scott does a show on Apple Music called Wave Radio.
Oh yeah.
He put some of his leaks on there. Okay. And that was I heard it there with no MIA, just Young Thug on it.
Really?
I think a lot of people were just expecting the Young Thug verse. And then I guess MIA added later on. But I thought it was tight. It was cool.
Oh, super cool, man. Like MIA, again, speaking of London, like motherfucking legend, you know? Like when I saw Travis Scott featuring Young Thug and MIA, I was like, this is going to be dope. And even I wasn't expecting it to be as dope as it is. Like it's just such a like non-conventional choice of beat. And he just did his own thing. Like he didn't go for any sort of sound. Like he just totally went full Travis Scott. I'm like, this is what's up. I love that fucking song. So we'll see how Utopia is.
Yeah, probably. They're saying that early this year, like March, February, even.
Yeah, I think the world needs a little bit.
Completely, yeah.
Yeah, Astro World was ridiculous. It was so good.
Yeah, I like Rodeo better, but.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Not all day, but
the real heads always prefer Rodeo for sure. Days Before Rodeo is still my fucking favorite.
Okay, that's number two. That's number two.
Yeah. Skyfall is probably still my favorite collab with him and Thug.
That's probably my second favorite Travis Scott song.
Oh, it's right up there for me too. It's so good. Yeah, I remember when I first heard that. That was like I'm a big Young Thug fan now, and like even though I love him and like I consider myself a big fan, still a lot of his stuff is kind of hit or miss for me. Like I could take it or leave it a lot of the time. But when I love it, I fucking love it. But I remember he took a little bit to warm up for me as well. And Skyfall was the one where like when I heard his verse on Skyfall, I was like, okay, I get it. Like this guy is the truth.
I know. And with the Metro production too.
Oh my god! And then there's that little video of them making it and shit.
Oh my god! I was literally, and they're in the studio and they're getting a
so good
clip still.
Yeah, absolutely. That almost every time I see Young Thug and Travis together, I'm like waiting. I'm hoping for that Skyfall sound, you know. But Franchise sounds nothing like Skyfall, but every collab they have is fire. Like Mamacita is one of my favorite songs.
With Rich Quan too, right?
Yeah.
That's top 5 Travis Scott songs of all time.
Yeah, so fucking good. And that's another one with Thug. So like they have just such a great chemistry. Like Travis Scott finds those people where he just like he puts them on. He almost does like Kanye does. Like he'll put on somebody on his shit and it will like unlock their potential and unlock their sound, and everything they do afterwards sounds way doper than the shit they did before, you know. Like you hear Travis, like Young Thug from before he started fucking with Travis and after, like different music, you know. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's facts. Actually, that's a good point.
Yeah, Thug was always dope though.
Yeah, lifestyle.
Yeah,
you know, that's, I don't even know what he's saying, but it's
that's the case with a lot of his shit. Yeah. But no, he started a wave too, man. A lot of people just sound like him now. So that's another one of those things why Pop Smoke was so refreshing, because a lot of people.
Yeah, well, the Atlanta Young Thug trap. Yeah, that was getting old. It was getting really old.
Yeah. So we'll see where people go now, man. It's gonna be interesting. The funny thing is like now with what I'm loving about this is like, as much as I love like club bangers and shit, like people ain't really putting out music for the club anymore, because there is no club. There's no fucking clubs. So it's like makes you think like how big of a portion of the rap hip hop market was directed toward getting played.
Yeah, like YG, all those
strip
guys,
clubs. Yeah. That's it, right? So it's like now you're starting to hear like what's gonna be a hit. Where does a hit play? You know, it doesn't. There's no strip club. There's no club. The radio, like, you know, that's not people's primary source of music. So like now people are just sitting in their house listening to music. So what kind of music do people listen to? Well, they're gonna be more engaged, you know. Where I think like a lot of club music is just very passive, and like I think now you're going to find like some very creative stuff happening. At least I hope, you know, because people are going to have to find a way to stand out. And the other thing is a lot of music is geared toward live shows, which is why I think a whole lot of Red is going to, you know, if he had a tour for that, got a way better reception than it got, right? But it's like, when you just sit there all excited for a whole lot of Red and you fucking put on your headphones or whatever, and you're like, fuck yeah, I'm finally going to listen to a whole lot of Red. It's been 2 years. You press play and it's like, okay, jump at the house, jump at the house, jump at the house, jump at the house. You know, you can't do it, man. But it's like if you were in a crowd at a festival or something, like, jump at the house, jump at the house, jump.
Yeah. It's different. Yeah, that was not meant to be a sit down and listen to album.
No, he should have waited longer, man. He should have waited it out. He let Mario Judah push him.
I waited 2 years for that.
Yeah, I know.
I was into leaks back then for a while. Like I know the original Whole Lotta Red, like V1. I know every word, every song to the leaks. Because that would have been a 10 out of 10 album. Like, leaks like Cancun. Neon, all the leaks like that.
Oh fuck it! The Pierre Bourne makes all the difference, man. Like without his production, it ain't Playboi Carti music if it's not produced by Pierre Bourne. As far as I'm concerned, like the whole first two projects, like they just found that perfect. There's like some perfect rapper producer combinations, right? Like they found that with Dial. Especially. So it's like I didn't necessarily want another Die Lit, because even Die Lit after like the first 3 or 4 times I was like, okay, now I'm gonna listen to less of it. Picking and choosing songs and stuff, right? But I was expecting something different, but I don't know that I was expecting what we got, you know. And I didn't even necessarily hate it as much as some people did. I thought that there was. You fully hate it?
I fully hate it because
you fully hate
I'm a long time Playboi Carti fan, and it was like a punch to the gut. It was like, this is not Playboi Carti. What is this? This is like
it's not Playboi Carti. It's not. I don't know. I really don't know what it is.
I respect it for trying stuff out, but like Deluxe better be Playboi Carti.
Yeah, there it will be. I think there's elements of it that I was like, okay, this is something fresh. Like this is something I haven't necessarily heard somebody do before. Certain vocal things he did, but it's like just because it's different, does that necessarily make it dope? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That worked for him the first time, but now he's going. Yeah, so the deluxe, I'm sure, will be hopefully. I mean, he teased that Pissy Pamper with Kid Cudi on it.
I was gassed when I saw
Like
that.
if I don't hear that, that's what I saw when I saw Metamorphosis featuring
Yeah,
Kid Cudi.
I
Was like, oh my god, they did a video for it. And I pressed play. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, is this even
I know.
music?
Who produced most of the beats on the album?
That's a good question. There's actually like this this group I follow on Instagram called Neela World, and they're pretty small, and they had credits on it, and they're all like their producers
Really?
all share. So like I don't know if he found some like smaller names or whatever. But that is a good question. I need to look into that because yeah, like a lot of it doesn't even sound like music, man. It's just like sound and noise and ad libs.
No, like whatever 808 they used was used in every single song, and it was really
yeah.
great. It was the mixing was terrible. I thought too on Metamorphosis.
Yeah, that was really disappointing. You could tell it was
really
thrown together last minute, thrown together a couple songs, especially Metamorphosis. You could tell like they got Cudi in there last minute and shit. Yeah, no, I was listening to that album and I was like, okay, I think I'm officially like too old. Like I'm missing something here. Like what is and I was so relieved when I went online and I saw that everybody hated it. So I was like, whew, I thought I was done, man. I thought I had to hang up the towel.
Yeah,
like, if this is the hottest new shit that's supposed to be like the revolutionary album, then I'm in trouble, man, because I can't really get with this.
So many nights I spent waiting for that album. Yeah, and it would have sold so much had he dropped it like September 2020.
So many weird decisions were made along the path.
Like this fall of 2019, he would have dropped it then. 400K first week. Are you kidding me?
Oh, it would have took over the world, man. He would have been one of the biggest rappers right now. I mean, he still is.
I don't get what okay, this is a question for an artist here. What is the problem with dropping leaks? If the leaks are like if the fans respond like well to the leaks, what's the problem?
You know, I think it would depend on a lot of things. Like for me, if something got leaked that was unfinished, I'd be pretty salty. You know what I mean? I'd be like, okay. As far as like still choosing not to put it out, I'm in the same boat as you are with Cardi with Kanye. Like Yandhi would have been a 10 out of 10 album if Yandhi came out. Those leaks are fantastic, and I refuse, and I'm happy I refused to listen to those leaks. But because I chose to do that, I still enjoyed Jesus is King.
I like that was a good album.
I love it, but I realized afterward that had I listened to all the Yandhi leaks before, I would have probably been disappointed in Jesus is King. Maybe not Whole Lotta Red level disappointed, but Jesus is King ain't Yandhi. I love it. But it ain't fucking what Yandhi was gonna be, you know.
Yandhi. Oh yeah, I got a couple of the leaks on there.
They were ridiculous, and so I don't know what it is. Like to me, Kanye could make all those songs, master them properly, finish them up, add new shit to them, and it would sell just as well as any other Kanye album. And it's really only, I don't know, a few thousand people who've heard the leaks. You know what I mean? It's not even like it's everybody. It's just the hardcore fans. I'm sure it's the same with Cardi. So like, I'm sure
what's happening with Donda?
Well, that's another thing. I was going to mention that because like, yeah, when I really got into the Kanye Reddit forums, like a lot of the inside joke on there was, well, at least we're not Playboi Carti fans. At least we're not Playboi Carti fans.
Yeah.
Because at that point, Whole Lotta Red was a worse delay. But now we're officially.
There was a time when everyone thought Eternal Take was going to drop later than Whole Lotta Red.
Yeah.
Because
Eternal
Take
a year.
it seemed like it was completely like scratched, completely scrapped. Like they were never gonna release it.
Oh, it really seemed like Whole Lotta Red was done. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about Eternal Take.
Oh,
A whole lot
Eternal
of
Take. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
that I thought they were never gonna release that. A lot of people did too. Like I thought everyone thought like, okay, Whole Lotta Red is gonna be sometime this month. This is like back in 2019.
Yeah.
And Eternal Take is gone, but it was the other way around until Whole Lotta Red.
Crazy, right? Like the
Yeah.
hype was just so huge for both of them.
Eternal Take, that is a good album.
Yeah, yeah, and then the deluxe was ridiculous as well. Then it's so ridiculous that it started this whole deluxe thing.
The deluxe thing with the leaks, because there's 3 or 4 leaks on the deluxe.
That's true.
And yeah, I think Yachty might have confirmed that Cardi's gonna do that. Gonna put some of the leaks on the deluxe for Whole Lotta Red.
That would be sick. See, that makes sense. You know, if you
cool.
can, I think it's just ultimately like back to your question. I think ultimately it comes down to like, I'm not even a big scale artist, and I'm very like meticulous about how I put out my stuff, like when it's going to be released. Like I want this to be heard before this is heard, the order that people hear shit in. I care about that, you know, like how recently certain things even show up on my profile and my discography. So like, I don't know if all artists care about that, but I could imagine if an artist really did care about that, like the what the official canon is of their discography, their music. If something is out there that like wasn't supposed to be heard yet, or they wanted you to hear this before you heard that, or like whatever, fucking artists are crazy, man. You know, so it's like I could see it, but to me, like equally as a fan, I gotta be like, well, I'd still be just as fucking hyped if I turned on a new Kanye fucking thing and I heard the opening notes of one of those Yandhi leaks. My mind would be blown as if it was a brand new song. Like I wouldn't care that the song's
that's a really good point. Yeah,
know?
that's
and
a lot of artists, they don't, I don't want to say they don't care about their fans, but a lot of the bigger artists, they don't give the fans necessarily what they want because it would sell. Like if big artists gave their fans what they wanted, like the tracks they wanted,
yep,
they would sell so much. It's really a shame.
It's true. It's very true. It's like it's a fucking head game being an artist, you know? Like imagine if sometimes it's the risk pays off. Like imagine if Kendrick Lamar, he puts out Good Kid Mad City, like one of the greatest and most well-received debuts of all time, any artist, any genre ever, right? What if he just, instead of making To Pimp a Butterfly, just did more of Good Kid Mad City because that's what everyone wanted, you know? Instead, he took a big risk and did something completely different with To Pimp a Butterfly. And, you know, to many, it's considered to be the greatest hip-hop album ever made, or one of them. Which is a whole other debate in itself. Like, I like Good Kid Mad City better, but that's just me. But it's just like the some of those risks that if you're a real artist, you can do something different than what people are expecting, and it pays off, and then you look like a real fucking genius, you know what I mean? And that's kind of what set that, and then that'll set you apart from just being another rapper, you know? It's like he tried something different and it worked, you know? But so I think that maybe some artists, you know, think that there's something bigger than they are, you know what I mean? Like I think you have to be honest with yourself as well, and like if you're like a party rapper that makes party music, just be a party rapper that makes party music. Like just because you amassed millions of fans all of a sudden doesn't necessarily mean you're some high art guy that can now switch it up and do this and it's still going to work. Some people can and some people can't. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of what separates, I guess, the real artist from the flash in the pan type. But it's got to be hard. It's got to be hard, like that balance between, do I give people more of what they want and risk sounding like, because sometimes you can sound like a caricature of yourself too, in a way. Like artists that keep, like, look at somebody like 50 Cent, right? Like, Get Rich or Die Trying, he attempted to make like 4 more Get Rich or Die Tryings, and they just got worse and worse and worse every time. He didn't do anything new, really. Like he just kept making the same formula, the same formula. and it just kept getting more and more watered down because you at some point you're just imitating yourself. You're imitating your old work, you know.
That's a really good point, because I think A Whole Lot of Red, had it been like Die Lit and self-titled, the one before that,
Yeah.
without the leaks on it, it probably would have got a little bit repetitive. Because, like you said, Die Lit, after like 4 or 5 listens, okay, like there's only actually like 4 songs in here that are
Yeah,
like,
the track list gets a little shorter. Yeah.
yeah, okay, 10 listens, okay, there's 2 now, right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
had A Whole Lot of Red been, we never heard the leaks, and had it been released like Die Lit, it would have probably turned out like that. Because Playboi Carti had a sound, and
Yeah.
a lot of people kind of attach the sound to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think for a lot of those artists who blow up really, really fast off one specific sound, like people don't even want to hear you try anything else a lot of the time. Like I think
a perfect example is the baby.
Yeah, exactly.
There's so many memes that all his shit sounds the same.
All his shit sounds the exact same. He just keeps recycling that same formula.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you know, if you imagine being in his mind right now, it's like, I'm getting the bag right now. I know if I keep doing this, I'm going to keep securing this bag. Exactly. Or I could try this and maybe risk this bag a little bit. You know what I mean? I think a lot of artists need to, like, A$AP Rocky for me is a fantastic example. You know, like he's like my hero.
A$AP Mob and A$AP Rocky is my 3 artists of all time.
They're goals. They're absolute goals. Like they're like my aspire to be these guys, you know, as far as like the way that they came up, other than the whole ugliness of them breaking up or not breaking up, whatever the fuck's going on. But as far as like how Rocky, he did the mainstream thing for a little bit, you know what I mean? Like he had that first underground mixtape that got all the attention and made big waves and made influences, and other artists started copying him and like stuff like that. He did that, then he got the record deal and made those mainstream hits. Did fucking Wild for the Night and Goldie and like those big songs that were like massive. Fucking made all that money, did what he had to do, got on his commercial features, got on his fucking twerk anthems and like all the bullshit you don't even hear him do anymore.
Yeah.
Collected all that like fucking Problems and shit like that, collected all that fucking money.
Yeah.
Now just does highly experimental music. Every album after that has just been him doing what the fuck he wants to do. Like
it's one's called Testing. He's testing an experimental sound. Like it's
like he's not concerned with trying to be mainstream or trying to recapture the Purple Swag peso vibe or like and lost a lot of people from that. I got friends who still are like, oh fuck Rocky, he's whack now, you know, he needs to make that old Live Love Ace. Like, no man, like he's an artist, he's a real creative, he's continuing to try new shit. Testing, like I wasn't feeling Testing at first, you know.
Me too.
I was expecting A$AP Rocky. I was expecting a certain sound, you know.
Yeah.
I go back like a few months later. I'm like, why was I hating on this? This is fantastic. This is great shit. He's really like doing new shit, doing different shit.
Tony Tone, Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord's gonna go down as a hip hop classic, man. It's the greatest crossover UK US song ever. Yeah. You know, so much great stuff on there. Like he getting FKA Twigs on songs and shit. He's a genius, man. But that's the thing, right? Is like he could have kept doing that same thing he was doing that was making him all that money, or he could take a risk. And it's like he lost people. But I guess that's the battle, right? It's like, what do I do? You know, you keep your diehard fans who are gonna understand it and fuck with you no matter what you do. But you're going to lose a lot of the casual audience that just want that one particular sound from you.
That sums up the entire business pretty much.
Yeah. No, so Playboi Carti is like the prime fucking example of somebody who was clearly at that crossroads. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do I continue to just make the same sound, or do I try something else?
Do I try something new and risk?
But what he tried is not the right option.
Yeah, no, it didn't work. And I was disappointed because it seemed like Kanye was getting involved there at the end, you know? So
the production, all that. And
so I was like, oh, this is going to be dope.
Yeah, okay. I'm like, yeah, this might be some. And then
Yeah.
it was a dead track. I did not like it. Kanye was on there for like 15 seconds.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that was a Donda leak that they just he just gave to Cardi, you know, and like
Really?
he updated some of the lyrics, but I'm pretty sure that was a Donda leak. So it's
I
like,
know that. Yeah.
so his role as executive producer was what? Like getting Cuddy on a feature for him and fucking
And then one song, yeah.
a recycled song.
Yeah.
And then clearly not helping him with the mixing or anything at any point.
Yeah, clearly, yeah.
You know? But Kanye is another one of those guys who took major risks with his career and the sound of music that he made, and it paid off every time. Like 808s and Heartbreak's the biggest example. Like he broke my motherfucking heart as a Kanye fan. Like when I was early into Kanye from the very beginning, you know, the soul samples, the Talib Kweli features, and you know what I mean, the super like hip hoppy, soulful kind of in your face,
exactly, in your face,
you know? And then he switches it up to like this.
Yeah, you see a whole new side. Yeah,
melodic, auto tune, like highly electronic, no samples whatsoever, just all self-played, auto tune pop music, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And that's literally been the entire scene since, man. Like that album changed the game. Like it melodic auto-tune emotional rap is literally what's been in, you know what I mean? It's that
you look at Juice WRLD, like,
right, he even said himself, well, I think it's Uzi actually who says who had a big thing about 808s and Heartbreak being like a major influential album for him. Yeah. And then he did the same thing to me with Yeezus, where like I heard Yeezus and I was like, man, this is like robot music, man. Like what the fuck is he doing? And now, just this year, 2020, 5 years later, I'm like, you know what? I've been sleeping on Yeezus because I'm in the forums waiting for Donda and shit, right?
Yeah.
And people are going, oh, this is like Yeezus is like top 3 Kanye albums. I'm like, what the fuck are these people talking about, man?
Yeah,
like I don't even. Like, I threw on Yeezus and I was like, what is wrong with me? Like, this is beautiful. Fucking.
Like, I don't want to say this, but like it's almost like so bad that it's good. Like,
yeah, it's like obnoxiously pretentious.
Like Black Skinhead. I played that in the car one time. I busted a subwoofer. It was insane.
Dude, some of the songs on there, like Hold My Liquor and shit, I'm like, how was I sleeping on this? These are bangers. But at the time, it was like, what's he doing? Like, why is he doing this right now?
Wow, yeah, obnoxious. Obnoxious is the only word. That's an obnoxious album.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like it's going to be the same with Jesus is King for people. Like, people first heard Jesus is King, they're like, oh, like, shut up. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be
that album is this great album.
Dude,
love that album.
Jesus is King, I've had some serious moments to that fucking album. Like that album has really lifted my spirits in dark fucking time. That album's amazing. Like there's so few rap albums. It might be the only one that is beginning to the end positivity. And like it's just there's no negative energy on that album at all, other than occasionally lines about like, you know, the devil tempted me and shit like that. But other than that, it's like all just uplifting shit.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, like it's like people are gonna go back and listen to that and be like, this is what I needed. Like what?
Yeah, well, why did I want all this negative shit, you know? Like this is beautiful. Like and the choir soul samples too. It's like
unbelievable.
Lifting, yeah.
It really is. It's a different frequency. He really made rap music on a different frequency on that album for sure. And again, he's always just pushed the envelope. Be like, y'all are all over here. I'm gonna go stand all the way over here, and slowly you guys will all trickle over, and then the whole scene will be over here. You know, it's like
he's on a different plane of existence.
Yeah. I really hope he continues and doesn't. You know, we'll see. I'm always up in the air with like, is his mental health just deteriorating, and we're never gonna
I lost it. Yeah.
But then he comes out with that music, and it's like, okay, he's good. You know, like how can I?
I don't want to get into this too much. But have you heard about the whole Jeffree Star
Yeah, I'm glad that it's not real. At least I'm assuming it's not real. You know, it's really sad that people believe that so easily based on nothing.
I was on Snapchat and I saw they have like the discovery section with a bunch of like recommended videos and stuff.
Yeah.
And like, did Jeffree Star sleep with Kanye? I'm like, how? Like, what? Who makes this stuff up?
This guy who's married to Kim Kardashian is sleeping with Jeffree Star. The fuck? Yo, I gotta go rock a piss real bad. I'll be right back.
I know.
All right. I very rarely have to make edits, but I'm probably gonna have to edit that out. So, but unless you kept the people entertained while I was gone.
No, I should have.
No, it's all good. If we were live, you would have had to, but this ain't live, so you don't got to worry about it. I'll chop it out. But yo, we've been going for over an hour, man. It's been fucking fantastic chopping it up with you. We're gonna have to do it again, man. Hopefully, we can get together in the flesh once this bullshit is over.
Studio as soon as possible. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, we have to, man. We absolutely have to. And yeah, man. Maybe we'll get a project in at some point, but you got to do your thing right now because what you're doing is working for you very, very well. So keep it up, and everybody go listen to Just After Dusk, which, you know, for those of you who don't know, the Easter egg is that it's actually a collab album, but we're calling it Jo-Rel's album. Just After Dusk.
I was thinking the what?
Everywhere. I don't know, man. We might have to, man. We might have to. You might have to hop on it.
All right.
Yeah. So tell the people where they can find you and your music and where they can buy beats off you. And yeah, whatever else you want them to know.
I'm setting up a BeatStars probably this month. BeatStars, I'm going to invest in that. 90 Beats on Instagram, 90 Beats on SoundCloud.
Beautiful. And he'll be tagged everywhere. So that's what's up, man. Really appreciate having you on. And everybody wait, because this kid's going to blow the fuck up, man. This is Murder Beats 2.0 out of Niagara.
Remember my face.
remember that face. All right, brother. I appreciate you, cuz. We'll talk soon.
About to take a plane to another plane, to another plane, to another plane, bumping Baka not nice while I'm trapping in the rain.